welcome to Asbury's Echoes. I'm Rhonda, this is Drew, and this is our Flosstube. And we usually show cross stitch and maybe some punch needle now and then, or little craft things that I like to do now and then. It is May 16th, I think. Yeah, it's May 16th. I lose track of the days. We get so busy around here this time of the year. May 16th, it's a beautiful day. The sun's shining, there's a little bit of a breeze. If you hear some loud clanks and bangs, they've been doing a lot of road construction out front here, and this morning they've been emptying out their cement trucks.
I need to go get some.
On our gravel road. They're just dumping big piles, but then they come back through later and load it up into a dump truck, so it's pretty noisy. But it's been a while since we've been here to film a Flosstube, and we're not going to let the road construction stop us, I guess, because I don't know when it's gonna end. They said May 31st, so it's been all month, and we are actually very thankful because we're gonna have a nice new highway. But in the meantime, we have to put up with a little bit of noise and people outside all the time, and flaggers, and it's been an interesting spring. So it's been a while, and I have a lot to show, and I'm just going to jump right in because I don't want to make this a great big long Flosstube. I'm a little scatterbrained today, and I have been scatterbrained for quite a while now. I'm not sure why. So you're going to see how I really work today, because I'm just I'm really having a hard time focusing. So we'll just jump right in. I've got a lot of stuff that I have finished. I have a few things I've started. I've got some haul. It's some different haul than what you usually see, but here we go. So I know last time I did a Flosstube, it took forever to get it to is it called upload?
Yeah.
Upload. I always say download, but it took forever. It took like 3 days, and during those 3 days I had showed a finished piece, but it wasn't on my Flosstube because I hadn't finished it for the Flosstube. So I even had people ask, well, why didn't you show this? And so I am remembering. I thought, oh great, I better write it down or I won't remember to show it next time. So this is what that one was, and this is called My Piece, and it says, I find my piece when I stitch my piece. And Doreen with Privies and Prims had sent that little saying to me, and I love that saying because it's so true. Stitching brings all of us peace. It's just a great way to sit back and relax and keep our hands busy and our minds busy, and I wanted to use that saying. So this is what I came up with, and it is stitched on the Nate Berkus fabric, and I will list that down below. And is this going to show up backwards?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't?
I don't think it will.
Because I don't want to. Okay.
I don't think it should.
So Drew says it shouldn't show up backwards. So here it is. I find my piece when I stitch my piece, and it is on the Nate Berkus fabric that I get through Joann's. It was, you know what? I did not dye this piece. No, this is one that I didn't dye. I'm not sure. I guess I decided I just liked it just like this. The board is from, told you I'm scatterbrained today. This is going to be hard. I will list it below. Homestead Needleworks. Homestead Needleworks on, she's in Etsy, and she makes the most beautiful boards. They are really, really quality. Very nice. This one is a blue. This is just one that I had. I had ordered a few of hers just to have on hand, and this is one of those, I'm pretty sure. So I don't remember which one it's called. I don't know. And I used some rickrack, and the rickrack came from Purple Paper Mountain, again on Facebook, no, on Etsy. She's also another great shop. She's got such fast shipping and beautiful trims. And I laced it onto a piece of was probably just a piece of cardboard, and I used some warm and natural batting between the cardboard and the stitch. And I know I probably I think I hot glued the piece to the board. So that's that one. And this one's, I've had this one done for a while, but I hadn't been able to show it. So there it is. And after that, I kind of went through a little bit of a, let's show this first. I've had these done for quite a while, and then I just forgot to talk about them or post them or even put them on Etsy, but they are on Etsy now. And this is my summertime trio. I've been doing some trios of things. So I've got the little wagon with the flower pots and the flag, and you could put anything on there. I thought about putting just some rusty bells or even some buttons, but I had these little charms. I've got a sunflower charm or a little flower charm and a bumblebee charm. And again, all of these, yes, everything I show you is going to be the Nate Berkus fabric, and it's from Joann's again. It's 36 count. This has been dyed after stitching. Usually that's what I do. Sometimes I don't dye, but very rarely. It's almost everything I show is going to be dyed, and most of it will be dyed after stitching, just because I like the way it mutes the colors. It makes them look more primitive. So there's that one, the little wagon, and then this one says Sweet Summertime with the sun. And the third one is the ladybug. Sweet little ladybug. And this one, I just took a little piece of twine and trimmed it. It was just something I happened to have here in my stash. Nothing special. I just wanted it to look very rustic. You don't?
I do.
Oh, you do? You like the ladybug? I like the ladybug too. I love ladybugs. We get lots of Asian beetles around here, which are not my favorite because they stink. They stink. I don't like to mess with them because I'd rather watch them just walk away than try and dispose of them because the smell. I think when you scare them, they let off some kind of a scent. It's not a pretty one. So those three are also, they're in Etsy as a grouping of 3. And then I kind of went through a stage of blues and browns, and I'm still in that stage. I've got a couple other things that I've designed that I want to stitch, but
Those are 2 colors that don't mix.
you don't think blue and brown mix?
No.
I love blue and brown. I love blue anything. Blues and browns to me are just I love blues and browns. So this one is the Sweet Simple Things, and I know the whole saying, what is it? It is the sweet simple things. There's more to the saying. I don't remember the whole saying right now. I think it was a Laura Ingalls Wilder saying. It is the sweet simple things, and I just stuffed this one very lightly with a little bit of fiber fill, and then I laid it flat and ironed it, and that made it even flatter. It just made it more a little different look than the pillows. And I took a piece of fabric and added some buttons. I think I need to tack it down a little better. When it's laying down flat, it's fine, but when you pick it up like this, it kind of, that button's a little heavy. Those are just some old buttons in my stash. I have buttons. I have jars and jars of old buttons. I love old buttons.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. I know. Buttons are, I'm a sucker for a jar of buttons, especially if it's an old jar full of buttons. I will never run out of old buttons. Anyway, this one is just got a sweet little girl in blue, and the back of it is just a brown fabric that I had, and then that's where I cut my hole so I could stuff it. And I did get some of those labels that they're iron-on labels that I want to start putting on these, that says, I think it says Stitched by Rhonda Miners. I'm not sure, I don't remember. Or maybe I should get some that says something about Asbury's Echoes. I've got them, but I haven't. I want to coffee dye them first before I start putting them on, but that's the plan anyway. So this one is in the Etsy shop, and it is listed under Simple Things, I'm pretty sure. Simple Things. And I know Hobby Lobby has trim, or they did have, I've got some, but it just wasn't it didn't have it. All the buttons are the same, but it's just a plain. I think it's a brown. It's a pretty light brown, maybe type of trim with buttons that are already sewn on, but they're all the same. And that would look really nice on here too. And I can't remember who shared the other day. I should look that up again. Somebody had stitched this, and then she made it into a wall hanging, quilted it into a wall hanging, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And then she had buttons. Oh, it was beautiful. I wish I could remember who that was. Maybe I can share that. I love seeing everybody else's finishes. So anybody, if you you stitch something that's mine and finish it, I love to see it. So please tag me, Asbury's Echo Stitches. Like if it's on Instagram, just tag Asbury's Echo Stitches. Love to see it. It just makes me happy, and I love to see how everybody else, how creative everybody is when they finish their own projects. So that was one of the blues, and then I had this other blue one. And this is it's a set of 3. The pattern comes, so this says Primitive Gatherings. You can see Primitive up here, Gatherings. And as I was stitching this one, I was thinking, what about farmhouse gatherings or homestead gatherings? I know homestead's a big thing right now. Homestead's the big word, and the big, that's what everybody does now. They're homesteading. I always think of it as, it's farm. I mean, we live in Midwest Iowa. They're farms. That's what we do. We farm. So instead of homestead, I also put farmhouse. So this is the homestead gatherings. I think I got that mixed up. So the homestead gatherings and farmhouse gatherings. I know Drew likes to say we live on a homestead. Right? This used to be a farm. Years and years and years ago, the people that owned it, it was a farm. And I grew up on a very small farm. My husband grew up on a bigger farm. Today, Drew calls it a homestead. I think, to me, they're the same. I don't know quite what the distinction is. I'm sure there is a distinction. But we're out in the country. We just have a few acres. But we have big gardens, and we have chickens, and
we should show our followers.
We should sometime. We have goats, or no, we don't have goats, but I'd like to have goats, and we have cats, and we have a dog, and we have a little pond that, now that we've been getting lots and lots of rain again, we had gone through a drought. This area had been really bad. It's starting to hold water again. So the weeds had all grown up. So it's not a very pretty pond, but we have a pond, and all around us is farm ground. And to me, this was a farmhouse.
Well, it technically is.
Right? It's a small home, but it's not a great big 4 square. It's a small farmhouse, but it was originally built, this place, and it was a farm. So anyway, I digress. I got off topic there. But these 3, so the gatherings on each one of these is exactly the same pattern. So there's 3 different. And if you wanted to stitch one of them, but if you wanted to stitch Primitive Gatherings, but you wanted it to have this border, you would just stitch this pattern, but put Primitive up there instead of, what's this one? Farmhouse. You can mix and match all of them. If you liked this one better, you like this one with the big quilt square better, but you wanted it to say homestead farmhouse, you would just stitch this one, and instead of putting homestead up there, you put farmhouse. But the pattern comes with all 3. So it comes with this one, and it comes with this one charted, and it comes with this, just the plain one charted. And then you can just mix and match which one you want. And this, I just simply took some old twine that I had, tied it around there, added an old rusty safety pin with, again, some old buttons. And they're old, really old buttons. So that's the other, that was my other.
This house is really old.
Huh?
Everything in this house is old.
Everything in my house is old, yes. Pretty much everything in my house is old. This is another blue and brown So I went through a blue and brown phase. I'm still in there. I'm still doing it. I've got a couple other things charted that I want to stitch that are more of the blues and the browns. So if you like blues and browns, there you go. And then I was, for some reason, decided that I needed to stitch something patriotic. Don't ask me why. I told you, I've been scatterbrained. Everything I do, I'm just kind of like starting here and this one started and that one's done and this is in my head and then all of a sudden I want to do something Independence Day or it's just been crazy. So I came up with these two. And these are red, white, and blue. You know, Memorial Day is coming up. And then the 4th of July and summer. Summer always, to me, is patriotic. Red, white, and blue. So I came up with Independence Day. And again, the Nate Berkus fabric, 36 count. This was dyed after I stitched it. Yes. And I found this fabric. It's not really 4th of July or patriotic, but it's, I don't know, I just fell in love with it. It was like a little fat quarter at the fabric store. We had run to a ton one. I needed to get something, and I don't remember what it was at the fabric store, and found this. And again, I just put this piece of really dark wool. What?
Ask her about paper patterns.
Ask who about paper patterns?
The lady at the shop.
Oh, the lady at the shop. Okay, that could be. So I did that one, and then I did this one, Let Freedom Ring. And this one, it kind of coordinates. There's one, I did a trio for a patriotic trio, and it's got these this little boy and this little girl, and they're standing and they're holding a flag between them. Their arms are different, and I think I changed a few things. I changed the colors of their clothes, and anyway, it's really basically, I think, the same too. So that one and this one would go very well together. And then like this one's got the same stars that my Independence Day has. So they kind of coordinate too. And again, I used the same. I'd gotten into the habit of doing everything, and this one's not, I haven't finished it, but this blue, just this homespun.
That's not blue.
Yeah, it is. It's either navy blue or it's black.
It's black.
I've got both, and I just grab whatever's there, and because it goes with everything that I do, because it's very primitive. But then once in a while I get tired of that and I grab something else, and so I use this. I don't know if it's showing up. You do? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this too. It's not as bright as it's showing up. It's actually pretty. When I dye this, I sew it into the pillow, and then before I stuff it, I dye the whole thing. So the fabric is really not as bright. It is way more muted because I have dyed it. And so there's that one. And so there's those two. Independence Day and Let Freedom Ring. Okay, and then, you can't always stitch pillows. And, well, you can. I do it a lot. I have a lot of these. And I love putting things on boards. That's new for me. I haven't done that much, but I've been doing a lot of it here lately. But once in a while, something else grabs me. And I had these buttons from my Stitching Piece store, and I know I have shown other things that I have designed using jeans buttons. I think they're sweet. I really like these buttons. And she had sent me these, and I immediately thought hanging them on the line, clothes on the line. I hang my clothes out on the line all the time. I love hanging clothes out on the line. I find it very relaxing and peaceful to go out and hang them out on the line. Although it's not been so peaceful here lately because, we live on the highways here and the gravel roads here, and they're doing the road construction, and we've had a car sitting right there on the corner with the flag guy, and you go out there to hang out your clothes and you look up and poor guy's bored to death and he's just sitting there
I want to take
in front of his car watching you hang out your clothes, and it's like, okay, this is not so fun. Yeah, last year when they were doing it, we took them out some cookies, didn't we?
Yeah.
So maybe next time if they're out there again one of these days.
This guy didn't talk to me, so.
This guy didn't talk to
He's
you?
not nice.
Oh, they've all been very friendly. They like to talk. They've been very friendly. Very nice. Anyway, again, off topic. I've been scatterbrained. So I came up with this, and I laced it onto a board, and again, there's a little bit of Warm and Natural behind it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, there's a little bunny down here in the corner watching, and a little bird up here. I don't generally have bunnies, but there's always a kitty cat or two wandering around, and there's lots of birds.
Or two.
And I've got to get my hummingbird feeders out, because we hang them up down on our pergola, and my clothesline is right beside the pergola, and it's always fun to go out and hang clothes out on the line and have the hummingbirds come and fly around. So that's something else we're going to try and do today. But anyway, this actually goes, this is an old washboard that I have had for years. I got it at some antique store at some time or other, but this fits perfectly in there, and I need to figure out how to get it. This is one of those things that I don't want to hot glue or deface. So if you have it, like mine sits on top of a cupboard that's up above my washer and dryer, and so it's kind of sits at an angle so it doesn't fall out. But this one, I didn't do such a good job at getting it good and tight. Whereas this one does. It stays nice and tight.
Where'd that come from?
I had it sitting right there and there. And these I sit together up on. I've got a cupboard, an old cupboard above my washer and dryer. And so I set these up there. And this one stays. I've had this charted for quite some time. I like hang, like I said, I like to hang clothes out on the laundry, and I just thought it'd be fun to have something that was stitched. But I didn't have anything. I didn't know what to do with it after I charted it, and I just had left it. And then when I got this one, my wash day one, I thought, you know what? I charted that other one, and I have another washboard, so I now have two. And I just thought they were just adorable. Oh, that one won't stay. We'll have to get something figured out to get that one to stay. Anyway, they are not the same wash. I mean, the washboards obviously are very different. I guess I never really paid any attention. I'm sorry, that's annoying noise. If that would fit in there or not. I think it would. I think the tops are pretty much the same size, but they're different manufacturers and the boards are about the same. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's those two. This one is called Wash Day, and this one is called Clothes on the Line, I think. I think it's called Clothes on the Line. I'm not positive in the Etsy shop. But you could also stitch these and make them, you could frame them. I mean, that would make a cute little picture in a picture frame to set in your laundry room, or you could definitely stitch these into pillows, little pin tucks, cover keeps. It's just fun to try and brainstorm and do some different things. So there's those, and then I did, what else did I do, Joby? This one, and this one is Trust in the Lord, for He is good. So it's called He is Good. I have little, and I didn't know what to do with this after I stitched it.
It's cute.
I did put this, I hung it off my basket. I think the basket that I showed last time with my sheep punch needle that I have, the solitary sheep. And I hung this on the other side, and that was really, really cute. Huh?
And baby chicks on it.
Baby chicks.
No, put the chicks in.
No, different basket, bigger basket.
Mm.
This could be framed, definitely. It could be made into a pillow. It'd be a little bit bigger pillow, but It definitely could definitely be made into a pillow. You can make it into a flat one like this. Whatever you want. But again, this is kind of blues and browns. The flowers are blue.
Those don't go together.
What doesn't go to browns and blues? The flowers are blue, but they're a very dark blue. They're 924, I'm sure. Again, Nate Berkus fabric, 36 count, dyed after stitching. Definitely. I just took the edges and folded them back and tacked it down. And I didn't do the best of job because after I got it done, I could see that this was not straight. But it looks prim. So there's that one. And let's see, what else did I do? I did start offering paper patterns. So
You already are?
there are a few. There are a few in the shop. I think I've got Independence Day and Let Freedom Ring. The ones that I just showed, they're all in the shop. That's my gatherings and Simple Things and Sweet Summertime. And I stitched my piece. There. Okay. There's a picture of that one. I'll show it to you. Hanging off the basket. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Close.
But it turned really nice. Is that too close?
Up a little closer.
There, up a little closer?
There.
Like that?
That'll make it focus.
Oh,
You tap the
there.
screen.
Like that?
Yeah.
So there's that. And I do have, so it's approximately 7 by 5 if anybody's interested. I do have that one listed. I did measure that one.
What are these things?
Those are old washboards. Vintage washboards.
How do they
You
work?
get your clothes wet and sudsy and then you'd rub them against that to get all the dirt
I
and
don't think that's very efficient.
grime, and it worked. And they do it out in the river too.
Gross.
Well, how else do you think? They used to wash their clothes in the river and in
I
the
thought they just had one outfit and they never washed it.
yeah, they never wash their clothes ever.
Well,
Of course they wash their clothes. They didn't have 50 outfits a season. They might have 2, one for good and one for every day, but they had to wash them somehow. So I do have that. Anyway, I do have some paper. If there's any pattern that somebody wants that I'm not offering in paper yet, because my goal is to get them all offered as paper patterns in the Etsy, but it's just going to take time. So if there's one that you want, let me know and I can work on it. It won't take me long to get it worked over so that I can do it in paper. Just let me know and I'll work on that one first. What else have I done, Drew? Oh, I had fun the other day. This was
It took like a week. And
it took something that should have been very simple. This is the way I've been the last few weeks. It's been something else. I was running really low on rusty safety pins. I had the package that I had for years. It takes a long time for me to get through them.
You're telling me you can buy them.
But I thought, yeah, you could buy them.
Then why didn't you just buy them?
Because I have all these safety pins. And I thought, well, at one time years ago, I rusted some safety pins. So why would I go buy pre-rusted safety pins when I have
Because it's easier and
a
I'm sure
box
they're not.
full of safety pins that I could rust myself? The only problem is I found one recipe and I thought, I bet that works. I couldn't remember how I did it before. And then I came across another one. I thought, well, that one's a lot simpler. So I'm going to do that one. It was a lot easier. And I tried it. And so you soaked your safety pins for 24 hours in, I should have written it down because now I won't remember. In,
Hydrogen peroxide.
no.
It's recipe you just want to buy.
Oh, good grief. Bleach.
Bleach.
24 hours in bleach.
That's
And
nice.
so, well, I kept it outside. I put it in an old jar and I did it outside. I let it all sit outside for 24 hours and then empty it. And then you let it sit for another 24 hours with apple cider vinegar. And I did that. And then after that 24 hours was up, I realized that I forgot to add salt. So it was supposed to be apple cider vinegar and salt. Because they didn't rust. They kind of discolored, but they didn't rust. So I added salt and let it sit for another 24 hours. And really just, it didn't work. I mean, they kind of,
It was mush.
but didn't. And so I thought, okay, you know what? I better go back to the first recipe. It was hydrogen peroxide and apple cider vinegar.
That's what I use for my bike.
And let them sit in that solution for 2 days. I think it was for 2 days. And just kind of shake them and stir them up now and then throughout those 2 days. And lo and behold, I don't know if it's because I did all of that or if the peroxide probably would have been just the way to go to begin with. But I got lots and lots and lots of rusty. I even had paper clips in there. I've got big pins. I've got little pins. All kinds of rusty pins. And this is what I was excited about. I rusted these. You can't really see them.
Toilet things.
I need, like, here we go. Here's a sheet of paper. I don't know. Can you see?
Is that what
These
it's
pins that people have been using, I'm not sure what they're called. Garment pins, maybe?
Aren't those the things that go in the toilet?
No, they don't go in the
Like when you get a new
toilet.
toilet, you put that seal over it and then you have to...
No, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what they call them, but I have a whole bunch of them. And I have them in all different, I have them in like black and silver and gold, and they're the ones that I use with these little charms sometimes, because sometimes I think they look better, maybe, I don't know, than the safety pins, but you can rust them. So now I can use rusty bells, I can still use old buttons, and I know, it's the little things that get me excited. Simple little things that I get excited about. This made me happy.
If I come home one day and you are rusting the silverware,
I won't be rusting the silverware.
silverware.
But I have a lot of rusty pins again. So you might be seeing a lot of rusty safety pins again on my stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But I have them. So, and what else have I been up to? I have one more. This one has a story. I fell in love with this saying.
No.
Because this saying is me. It says, I meant to do my work today. And I did. I meant to do my work. I always mean to. But a brown bird sang in the apple tree, and a butterfly flitted across the field, and all the leaves were calling me. That's me, right? It might not always be a brown bird or the leaves. A lot of times it is. But something, I always mean to do my work, but something else always calls to me. So I decided to...
that distracts you.
A rat that distracts me?
Don't know.
Usually it's, oh, I need to write that down. Oh, and then I sit down and start, oh, but I need to design that. Oh, but I just want to put a few more stitches in this project. Or, oh, I should go out and weed. Oh, now that I'm out here, those flowers are so pretty. I mean, it's just, this is me. It just is. And it's been this, I've been like this really bad here lately. Anyway, I designed this because I love that saying and I just want to hang it on my wall. So this is what I did. And so I've got my bird. He's not as brown as I had planned, but he's brown. My little butterfly, I don't normally stitch butterflies. I'm not a big butterfly person, although we do raise monarchs every year, don't we?
Yeah.
The last few years we've gotten so, we go out and find the little caterpillars and bring them in, and every day we traipse outside and we find milkweed and change their milk. Anyway, it's fun. It is a lot of fun. Huh?
How do I look like that?
I don't know, but it's just absolutely amazing to watch the caterpillar turn into the monarch butterfly. It is. So anyway, back to this.
You just did it.
I know, I've been really bad. So I stitched this, and what it actually goes on, and I see that I need to get my hot glue isn't working the greatest. I need to get my E6000 or whatever it is. I had this, and I know most people are going to be like, what is that? I know. This is the things I love. So this is an old, rusty, crusty, chippy. What are you doing?
Rusty, crusty.
It's rusty, crusty, chippy ceiling tile. It came from the old grocery store in town, but it's been torn down and they've put a new one up. And anyway, my son gave me this. And again, this is what I love. This old, rusty, crusty, this thing's huge. And it's been hanging on the wall, just plain. I took it out and sprayed it with some clear, but I didn't have any matte, so this was semi-gloss, which I don't like because it makes it shiny.
We had matte in the shop.
We did have matte in the shop?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to do it again. It needs another coat anyway because it was all chipping off. And in true Rhonda fashion, I ran outside and I knew it looked like it might start raining, but you know, hey, this is when I want to do it, so I go out and I spray it and it starts sprinkling. And so anyway, I put big fat magnets on the back of this, but those two magnets need to use the E6000 instead of the hot glue because the hot glue isn't working. But this now hangs on the wall and I love it. Yeah, it should stay because it's the magnets. When the magnets are holding onto the back of this, it does stay. But I don't like to deface this old stuff. And I know this isn't worth anything, but although we were at an antique store in the Amanas not too long ago, remember that old one, that big old house, the two that have been put together? And he's got a lot of, it's very interesting antique store. It's a lot of fun, but his stuff is old and not necessarily worth a lot of money, but a lot of old stuff. But he had a bunch of these ceiling tiles, but I think they were like $20 a piece.
Okay, get out of here.
But the funny part about this whole thing is I had it all done. And I went to, you can let go of it now. I went to type something up. I couldn't remember. I wanted to make sure I got the saying exactly word for word. And I was typing it up. And lo and behold, I typed, I want to do my work today.
I can't get it off.
I know, those magnets are something else. And I looked at the book, and then I looked at my stitch. And I had stitched. I had charted. I want to do my work today. The saying is, I meant to do my work today. And I thought about leaving it, even because it was this, I had it completely this. It is possible, this is hot glued to this. It is possible to tear that off, to unlace half of it, and just take part of this down. It is possible to rip that out, frog it, restitch it, and then tuck that all back and relace it.
You have to die.
It is possible because I did it, and it was it's not ideal. I wouldn't suggest it.
I could hear you yelling from the other side of the house.
But I did it. I didn't yell. I was just like, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. Anyway, I want to do my work today. I meant to do my work today. I decided I wanted it to be right. So this is it. And this is in the Etsy shop. I don't think I've shown it. Yeah, I did put it in there just because I had it all charted up and ready to go. And it's called The Leaves Were Calling. That is just so me. The leaves are always calling. And then, see, I wanted this to be short and look at it. Haul. I'm kind of excited because, oh, here's another one. This isn't done by any means, but just a sneak peek. Fall is best. I love fall. I did show that I just had to stitch a little pumpkin the other day, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I stitched it on a little teeny piece of my linen. So I cut him out, and then I tacked him onto this. This one is obviously not ready. Fall is best. Fall is my favorite. And I am working on, I don't know, these are a work in progress. Love, hope, joy.
Oh, it's from Kim, the hearts.
No, these are my stitching piece buttons again.
Oh.
I just love those hearts. That one says love, joy, hope. This one says all is well. You know, all is well with my soul. That one speaks to me, so I had to do this one, all is well. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I've got a couple more that I've been charting and working on, and I just don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I just wanted to show them because that's what I'm working on. And oh, this is the other thing that I'm working on.
Jeez.
I've been showing this, my progress.
That's a good one.
And again,
Can you make that pattern?
huh?
Can you make that pattern?
Yes, it's a work in progress pattern. So far I have a fence and a tree. And there's a little bird, little blue bird. There you go with my blue again. And the house. And we'll see. We'll see what that's going to entail. My plan is to get the house all outlined. Tomorrow night, I'm kind of excited. My mom and dad asked me to go. We're going to something called, what's it called? Pizza on the Farm?
Oh.
Pizza on the Farm, or Brick House Pizza on the Farm?
Something like that.
Something like that. It is about 40 minutes away, and it's out on a farm.
That pizza better be good.
And it's brick oven, not brick house, brick oven pizza. You go, you order your pizza, and then you just go find a place to sit out in the country, out in the grass. You're supposed to bring your own chairs or blanket, bring your own drink. I think they have drinks there that you can buy if you want to. And then tomorrow night we're going because my mom's aunt, so it'll be my great aunt's son and daughter-in-law are doing the performing. And so you just sit out, you're outside, you just sit there and you eat your pizza and socialize, and they're going to perform. And I think he plays the guitar and she sings or something like that. I've never heard them, so I know Aunt Bonnie and Uncle Bill did bluegrass for years. But I'm not sure if this will be bluegrass. I don't know if it will be or not. I don't really know what it's going to be.
Song is bluegrass.
No, it's a genre. Like country or rock or pop or whatever. It's bluegrass. I enjoy bluegrass. Not everybody does. I know. So that's what we're doing tomorrow night. And I plan on taking my stitching. I tend to take my stitching any chance I get to stitch. I mean, if I'm going to be sitting there listening to them sing, and I think it'd be perfect time. And if I have it all, if I have that big old house all outlined out, then I won't have to think. I can just fill in. So that'll be fun. And that is about it, except for my haul. Now, yesterday we went to a shop called Fiddle-Dee-Dee, and it's in a little neighboring town, and I'm all excited because I've been wanting to start like a stitchy group, a sit and stitch or something like that, and I don't know anybody who stitches. So I went over there. I had been messaging her or talking to her, and I went over and talked to her face to face, and she was all excited too, and she says, yes, I think that there are plenty of people around that would be more than happy to have a place to come and either to learn to stitch, or I mean, I would be glad to teach. I've even thought about making up some kits if somebody wanted to have something all kitted up or whatever. But I'm really excited because we're going to try and set up a time in June, and then maybe see if we can't get something going to have kind of like a community of stitchers that can get together, whether it be once a month or whatever, at her store. She's just got the most beautiful little, it's like found and repurposed and vintage and antique, and she sells teas, different fresh teas that they make up for you if you want to drink them. She has makerspace groups. She has once a week, maybe every Wednesday, I think she said. They do a stamp and card making class, and they do painting classes and just all kinds of fun little things. And I'm so glad that I stopped in. But while I was there, I was looking, and I had to get this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. At first I thought,
What is it?
well, they didn't actually get it quilted. It's the top of the quilt. It's an old vintage, primitive colored, primitive looking. And I originally thought I would make it into a curtain for here in the kitchen, but there's nothing wrong with it. It just hasn't been, it's just the top of the quilt. And I don't know how to quilt. And I don't know that I need another. I think I'm going to use it as a tablecloth in the dining room. I think it will be pretty. It's very primitive. It's very old looking, and
It stinks.
yeah, it needs cleaned. Well, it's old, Drew. You know, all the old stuff. It's very old. But anyway, it was very pretty. So that was
Get it out of here.
that was one of the hauls. See, that fabric there looks like it's got almost like little teeny strawberries or something. I don't know. It's just pretty. And then I found this. And this is an old badminton cover. And I thought that would make a pretty, really neat frame. I don't know. It might even work for this. Let's see. Will that fit in there? What do you think? Yeah, see? That might fit in there. I don't know. We'll see.
What was that?
It was an old badminton cover.
No, I was gonna see.
An old badminton racket. Kind of like a tennis racket. Only it was a badminton racket. And then you can... Anyway, that's what that was. And she had that sitting there for sale. And then she had this, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I just thought it was really cool. I do have a punch needle project that I want to start eventually. It's a Cinnamon Creek, and I think it's called Ezra's Farm or something like that. I might have even shown it. I don't know if it would fit on here or not. I can't remember the dimensions of it, but I just thought this was really cool. I'm not really sure what it was or what it's going to become, but I'm going to put something on it. And then I had one other thing. We're building a chicken run. So I've been spending quite a bit of time outside and in the shop, running back and forth and being the gopher. And this has been sitting on the tool bench. I don't know where it came from.
It came from my
It's dirty.
cat shed. Yeah, because the cat's been sleeping on it.
Oh, but where did it come from before that?
My cat shed.
It didn't, but where did it come from before your cat
It was
shed?
one of those big posts. I cut it down.
The top of an old post? Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool. It's dirty. I need to clean it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to try and come up with something to mount on it. Isn't that cool? And it was free. All right, I think I'm done. I'm done. I've been talking forever. Did you want to talk about something?
Sure.
What?
So
We're about out of time.
Henry my hamster. I got him in the last video. I think it was most of our viewers that convinced them to get me him. I filmed a video. I'll show his enclosure. So this is his enclosure. It's a 75-gallon tank. He's got lots of room to run around. 11 inches of bedding. He's got his sand bath, his wheel, his food. And this is funny. He took his food bowl. It's right in there, if you can see it. And here's Henry. He's in his burrow. You can see he's got some food. He's got some millet there. He loves his millet. And he's scared. He's trying to sleep. So that's his enclosure. Thought I'd share it since I can't show him. So yeah. Enclosure. He was in a tub cage and had ventilation. And my cows are in a 75-gallon tank. But now it's vice versa. And I've had lawnmowers. I've got a zero turn I mow the grass with, and I've got a tractor style they use for a tractor. And the first one broke down. I couldn't fix it, so I traded it for a John Deere. And
Drew has a good friend that lives just down the road, and they both love to tinker with motors and anything that runs, right? And Eli had this old John Deere lawnmower, and Drew had his, and they both wanted what the other one had, so they traded.
I traded the one I got sight unseen, which probably I shouldn't have.
Sight unseen.
But it needed a steering arm, so we got that, and it didn't need a fuel pump, and it needed a shifter.
Anyway, it's working, right?
Finally, yeah.
He got it working.
And then I got on Amazon and got a bunch of stuff for it.
It's been a good learning experience for him. Anytime you can tinker and mess with motors and get something to work, it's a good thing.
Yeah, because I didn't have anything to do.
Right. So now he's already taken his tractor and cleaned up a corner. Yeah, it's a mower, but he can pull the little lawn trailer with it. So he's cleaned up some things around the house and hauled them off. And he used the grass sweeper last night and swept up the grass after they mowed. And did you give it to the chickens? No, you forgot to give it to the chickens. Anyway, we'll give it to the chickens, and it's a good thing. He's learning.
The chickens,
right? And he's having fun. And him and his friend are learning all about trading. And did he get your old one running too? Good deal. So anyway, that is enough. We have been talking. Hopefully we don't have to wait this long in between gardens and building chicken runs and going to ball games for the grandson and dance the other night, which was fun for my granddaughter. And there's just a lot. So it's hard to get everything fit in, but I obviously got some stitching in. I didn't think I had till I started rounding up. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, for being patient in between our videos, because it's been a while. And please like and subscribe and ring that bell
so you get notified every time we upload.
There you go. Hit the bell notification so we get notified every time you upload. Comment. I try very hard to respond to all comments. I don't know if I said any, what did I? Oh, if you want to comment, and if there's one that you want to see in paper that's not paper in the shop yet, please let me know. And thank you very much. And until next time, goodbye.